Oh, hello there. So this year in January, I started this weird thing called a self-reflection, because who does not? And everybody does that around New Year's, I guess. I do it every year. So I wanted to focus on things which I lack, because hello, imperfect everybody. So there were a lot of problems. A lot of problems. But there is one habit which I wanted to tackle by its neck and actually get control over it. So kids, which one is it? Unproductivity. Well, believe it or not, even as a medical student, even as somebody who's a doctor now, I have had many phases of extreme unproductivity, and this year I have made some progress. Let's just say that. So just like the millennial I am, I started looking at YouTube videos and tutorials on how to be productive, and there was a lot of stuff. But one thing in particular which I really found interesting, intriguing and kind of doable was making checklists. Now, I'm sure it's no rocket science. We all know what checklists are. It's basically a list of items which you check when they're done. So let me tell you the deal with checklists. Not just us ordinary humans use checklists. WHO, which is the World Health Organization, started using checklists called as surgical safety checklists to actually reduce mortality, which is the number of people who die, and complications of operations. We're talking about huge surgeries. A lot of intraoperative complications and mortality has actually been reduced due to WHO's surgical safety checklist. So why is it such a big deal? So basically, in surgeries, there is a high chance of human error. How? There can be misinformation to the operating surgeon as to what part of the gallbladder has a stone. There could be misinformation to the nurse as to which patient to actually bring to the OT if two patients have similar names and similar surnames. There could be miscommunication between the anesthetist and the surgeon. Believe it or not, even in things like surgeries, there is a huge chance and there is actually a lot of space for human errors. Keeping that in mind, WHO came up with its list of things which need to be ensured and ticked off before every surgery. So if things like surgeries getting screwed up can be prevented by checklists, I'm sure we all have something to take from this one simple habit of making checklists. So here's what I started to do. For example, I go on my internship and सुबह the PG tells me इसका investigation भेज दो, उसका report ले आओ, इसका X-ray करा दो, इसका CT scan करा दो, इसका CBC plus LFT plus KFT plus serum electrolyte plus RBS plus albumin plus protein plus HBS antigen plus HCV plus HIV करा दो, और यही चीज़ इसकी भी करा देना, और इसकी भी MRI है, इसकी भी CT scan है. And I'm just standing there being very confident that I would remember all of that when there is a deadline of doing it all by 10 PM and it's already 8:30. So I started doing this simply in the wards. I started making checklists, not just any lists, checklists. There were actually check boxes which I used to tick, and all of that work would be there on those simple checklists. I did not have to remember everything or write it on my hand because it's just stupid. वो हट जाता है. I started doing it with my ward work and it actually helped me a lot because I was forgetting less things, therefore getting scolded less and being yelled at less, and I like that very much. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's how it started, and I got interested and I thought, okay, if this is helping me here, I'm sure there's more use to it. I started making checklists about almost everything. So for example, if I have to read medicine and I have to read central nervous system, I would write down all the topics which are there to be read so that I'm not missing out on anything. और जैसे जैसे वो होते जा रहे हैं मैं उन्हें टिक करती जा रही हूँ, and I can see it. Next example, I have to go shopping and I have to buy stuff because maybe there's a party coming. So I wanted to buy heels and I would go to whatever store, and then I go there and I see a lot of shiny stuff and there are a lot of things on sale. I buy a t-shirt, a jacket, a pair of pants, and I come back. and I spent like 3 hours, and when I come back, as soon as I enter home, I realized I do not have heels. So what I started to do was making checklists. Okay, top priority heels or top priority shoes, because you cannot walk in heels. So you get the point, right? No pressure. You can start using checklists, but trust me, I started using them and they have actually helped me a lot. So the benefits that I have actually had from making checklists is A, I do not forget things, which is great, because then B, I do not go back to the same places to do the same tasks and I'm not just wasting my time. And C, like I said, your time is being saved because you're not wasting time. So yeah, I actually have free time and I'm not just going crazy because I do not have to recall everything forward. I do not have to recall everything in my brain. It's all there on a piece of paper and I can be just concentrating on doing the tasks rather than remembering the next one or recalling which one I had to do next. A few things which I go by while making checklists is A, the rule of urgent and important. Now it is very easy to just keep making your checklists uselessly big and very inclusive and just writing anything that comes to your mind. Your checklist is not your wish lists basically. So what I do is write tasks, all right, and I write it in like 2 columns. One is like urgent and one is important. So I would write tasks, for example, making a YouTube video. For example, I would write making a YouTube video for this week. Is it important? Yes. And is it urgent if it's already Friday ka 1 a.m? Oh yes. So yes, that goes into urgent and important. So whatever top 3 tasks which come into urgent and important are the ones which go on top of my checklist. I know this sounds like a frigging tedious process, but trust me, once you get good at making your checklists, now I don't put tables and I don't write about what's urgent and what's important. I just do those things and I just put those things on my checklists, and yeah, I'm pretty good to go. But for starters, yes, you could totally use the urgent and important table wala thing. Number 2, write actions. So for example, if I have to go buy a car, obviously I'm not going to go buy a car, but why not? Let's use it as an example. So for example, I have to buy a car and I just write car. Now I know what I mean by just car, but writing down buy a car makes it more effective. You can clearly see it and it just feels good. And number 3, do not cross off things as you do them. Check the checklists, not cross the tasks, because at the end of the day you will have all the tasks that you completed in a list. Because if you cross things and if you're not able to complete things, because we're only human, you would see things that you haven't done, but you would have really cut off things which you have actually achieved. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say. I know it does not sound like it's very effective because it's pathetically easy, but trust me, I use it and I'm not lying to you, and give it a try. Tell me how it goes. Maybe you'd find something great, because I did and I can swear by it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. This is Pavitraa Shankar signing off.